good. It's not. We were preparing to live stream, so I'm going to turn my video off, but I'm going to keep talking. No, you're good. It's not. We were preparing to live stream, so I'm going to turn my video off, but I'm going to keep talking. Love that for me.
Welcome to Hold Space Theater Collective's virtual production of The Frogs by Aristophanes. Aristophanes was the foremost writer of comic drama in classical Athens. His surviving plays are the only complete examples we have of old comedy. The Frogs was first produced in Athens in 405 BC. The approximate runtime is 90 minutes with no intermission. If you enjoy our production, we invite you to donate to the Martha P. Johnson Institute using the link below. When you donate, you help employ Black trans people, build more strategic campaigns, launch winning initiatives, and interrupt the people who are standing in the way of more being possible in the world for Black trans people and all people. No amount is too small. Thank you and enjoy the show. The play opens on a street leading to Hades with a door in the center of the backstage area. Enter Dionysus, appearing as a middle-aged man. On his feet, he wears soft leather lace-up boots. Behind him comes Xanthias, riding on a donkey and carrying a huge amount of luggage. Xanthias notices the audience.
Look, master, an audience. Shouldn't I say something? Tell them one of those jokes they always fall for, huh?
All right. Say what you like. Only no jokes about how you're dying to piss. I can't stand those. They're also stale.
Okay. What about my other jokes?
Go ahead. Just
okay.
Nothing about your bladder, about how it's going to burst.
You mean I can't tell the really funny one with the
I suppose so, but don't say anything about the bit.
Guys, what bit?
The bit about how you need to shift your load to take a piss.
You're not even this one. The here I am transporting such a load. If I get no relief, I just might explode.
Please, don't say that. Not unless I'm sick and need to throw up.
Then what is the point of my being here like this? Huh? All this baggage, why do I got to carry all the heavy stuff if I can't tell the usual porter jokes? The ones Mepsius and Phrynicus and Lysias too, and all their comedies provide the servant who carries all the bags.
Just don't. Those jokes are all so feeble. When I have to watch a play and hear them, by the time I leave, I've aged at least a year.
Xanthias strikes a heroic pose.
Alas, my neck beneath this triply damned yoke. I suffer all this pressure and can't tell my joke.
It's an outrage, sheer insolence that I, Dionysus, son of Wine Jar, have to walk like this, sweating along so he can ride at ease, without a care and carrying no load.
What? Aren't I carrying a load?
How can you be? You're riding on your ass.
I am loaded down. All this stuff, if you want to...
What do you mean by that?
What I said carries a lot of weight. Huh?
Isn't the donkey carrying our load?
No way. Not the load I'm holding.
How come? How can you be carrying anything at all when someone else is carrying you?
I've no idea, but my shoulder's falling off, so...
All right then. Since you claim the donkey's useless to you, why not take your turn and carry it?
Wretched life. Should have gone off to fight at sea, then I'd be free. I told him where to put this ass of his. Ugh.
Get down, you useless idiot. We're there. By the door I'm aiming for, my first stop.
Dionysus knocks very aggressively on the door and calls out in a very imperious tone.
Hey in there, doorman. I'm summoning you.
The door opens and Hercules steps out. He's amazed that someone is dressed up to resemble him.
Who's banging on that door, smashing at it like some wild centaur? Who is this?
Hercules inspects Dionysus' outfit and starts to laugh uproariously.
my boy.
What?
Didn't you see?
See what?
How scared he was of me.
Yes, by God, he was. Scared you're nuts.
By holy Demeter, I can't stop laughing. I'll try biting my lip. No use, I can't stop laughing at him.
Come here, my good man. I need something from you.
I can't help myself. He's so ridiculous. What's going on? Do people with large clubs now walk around in leather booties? Where on earth do you think you're going?
I've done naval service under Cleisthenes.
At that sea battle?
Yes, and sunk enemy ships, 12 or 13 of them.
Just the two of you?
Yes, by Apollo, we did.
Then I woke up.
I was on board with Euripides and Andromeda, reading to myself aloud when suddenly a huge urge seized my heart. You've no idea how strong.
An urge? How big was it?
The size of Molon. Tiny.
For a woman?
No.
A young lad, then?
Certainly not.
Well, then a man?
Ugh.
Did you grab hold of your Cleisthenes?
Don't mock me, brother. I'm not doing so well, tormented by such hot desires.
Tell me, my little brother, what's it like?
I can't explain, but I'll try to show you by analogy. Have you ever had a craving for some stew?
For stew? In my life, maybe 10,000 times.
Is that explanation enough to you? Or shall I try some other way?
Not about stew. That I understand completely.
Well, then that's how much I'm eaten up with my desire for Euripides.
Even when he's dead?
So no one's going to talk me out of it. I have to find him.
Right down in hell.
Or even lower, by God, if there's such a place.
What's the point of that?
I need a clever poet. There's none around. The ones we have are all so lousy.
Isn't Iophon up there?
He's the only good one left, if he's any good. And I'm not really sure that's the case.
If you've got to take a playwright back, why not Sophocles? He's better than Euripides.
Not till I get Iophon all by himself, without his father, Sophocles, so I can test the mettle of his poetry. Besides, Euripides is such a rascal, he may try to flee Hades and come with me. But Sophocles was nice, easygoing while on Earth, and down here too.
What about Agathon? Where's he?
He's left us, a fine poet lamented by his friends.
Where's he gone?
Off to feast with saints.
And Xenocles?
Oh my God, make him drop dead.
Well then, Pythangelos.
Look, what about me? Huh? I'm in pain all this time. My shoulder is sore as hell. Anyone cares?
Surely, you've other artsy-fartsy types. Thousands of tragic poets, all of them. Way more wordy than Euripides.
No. All chatterboxes, tittering swallows in a music hall, mere foliage, disgraces to the artist's craft. Once they get a chance to stage their plays, to crap all over tragedy, they disappear. If you looked, you'd never find one playwright, someone creative who could well declaim a worthy sentiment.
That word, creative, what's that mean?
Someone poetical enough to give utterance to something grand, something like the sky, Zeus's pied à terre, the foot of time, or this. A mind that will not swear on sacred offerings, but a perjured tongue that's false, with no sense of its perfidy.
You like that stuff?
Like it. I'm crazy about it.
I swear it's all bullshit and you know it.
Now, don't try to tell me what to think. Not with tragedy. You're no expert there.
I still say it sounds like total rubbish.
Why not teach me how to stuff my guts?
What about me, huh?
That's the reason I've come here and dressed like you, so you can fill me in case I need to know about this place. Who welcomed you down here? Who'd you meet that time you went down after Cerberus? Tell me about the harbors, resting places, bakeries and brothels, water fountains, the cities, highways, all the detours, the local customs and the fine hotels, the ones with fewest bugs.
Still no word to me.
Oh, you valiant heart, are you man enough to venture down below?
Forget my courage. Show me the highway, the shortest one there is, that takes me directly down to Hades. Don't prattle on about the temperature. Say it's way too hot or too cold for me.
Let's see. What should I mention first of all? There's a straight shortcut, well-traveled too, with pestle and mortar.
You mean hemlock?
That's it.
Too cold. Too much like winter. Right away the shins get frozen solid.
All right then. You want me to tell you how to get there fast?
Yes, by God. I'm not one to take a hike.
How about a stroll to Keramikos?
Okay. What then?
Climb up the tower there, right to the very top.
And then what?
Take a look at the torch race starting up. When the spectators all yell out, "They're off!" then off you go as well.
Off? Where to?
Down.
No. I can't take that road. I'd pulverize both bristle wrappers of my brain.
What's left?
The road you used.
Oh, an enormous journey. At the very start, you come to a vast lake, immense and bottomless.
How do I get across?
In a tiny boat, minuscule like this. An ancient sailor takes you there for a fee. 2 obols.
2 obols? It's amazing what 2 obols can buy anywhere. How come it's here in Hades, too?
That was Theseus. He started it. Once past the lake, you'll find snakes. You'll see thousands of them, horrific monsters.
Don't keep trying to scare me. That won't work. There's no way you'll get me to turn back.
Then a huge sewer, always full of liquid turds, and lying in it anyone who harmed a guest or screwed a lad and then took back the cash, or smacked his mother, punched his father's jaw, or swore false oaths, or else had copied out a speech of Morsimus.
By God, with them in the shit should lie whoever learned a war dance by Canisius.
Next, the breath of flutes will sound around you. You'll see the finest light, just like in Athens, and myrtle groves with happy men and women gathered there to celebrate and clap their hands.
So who are they?
Those are the initiates, the ones who celebrate the mysteries.
And by God, in these mysteries, I play the ass. I'll not stand for this a moment longer. Oh!
Xanthias dismounts and starts to unload the baggage he's been carrying.
Those ones will tell you all you need to know. These initiates live closest to the road, which takes you to the doors of Pluto's place. And so, my brother, I bid you fond farewell.
Goodbye. God keep you healthy too.
Hercules exits back through the door. Dionysus turns to Xanthias, who has just about finished putting down all the luggage he has been carrying.
You there. Take up the baggage once again.
Before I've put it... But before I've put it down...
Yes. And hurry up.
Enter a solemn funeral cortege, carrying a dead man towards Hades.
Oh, come on. I'm begging you. Hire one of them. Some of them that's carrying the corpse. That's why they're here.
And if I don't find anyone?
Then I'll do it.
Fair enough. All right, they're bringing out a corpse. You there. You stiff. I'm talking to you.
Oh!
The corpse suddenly sits up straight.
You wanna take a little luggage down to hell?
How much?
This stuff here.
Will you pay 2 drachmas?
My God, no. Less than that.
Then go away.
Hang on, my dear fellow. Can't we haggle?
If you don't pay 2 drachmas, forget it.
How about 9 obols?
No bloody way. I'd rather you shoved me back to life again.
Corpse lies down and the funeral procession moves away.
What a pompous bore.
To hell with him. I didn't even ask again. I'll take it myself.
Xanthias starts loading himself with the baggage once again.
That's a good man. Let's get that boat.
Enters Charon, rowing his small boat across the stage.
Ahoy there, coming along the side.
What is this?
This, by God, it's the Lake Hercules talked about. And I see the boat.
Oh, you're right. Thanks to Poseidon. This must be Charon?
Ahoy there, Charon. Greetings. Charon? Charon? Charon, hello.
Who seeks rest from work and trouble? Who's heading for fields of forgetfulness? Never, never land. The Siberians, the Ravens, and the Tartans.
That's me.
Then jump aboard.
What do you put in? The Ravens? Is that a stop?
Yes, by God, a special stop just for you. Get in.
All right. My lad, hop in.
I won't take him. Not unless he fought a sea to save the skin.
No, not me. No way. My eyes are bad, so I wouldn't have.
Then you must make detour around the lake.
Great. Where do I wait for you?
At Withering Rock, right by the Resta.
You got that?
I got that.
Charon sits down.
Sit down there at that oar. Anyone else? Hurry up! All aboard! What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm sitting on this oar. That's what you told me to do.
Come on, fatso, park your butt right there.
There.
Can you pick up an oar, stretch your arms?
Like this?
Don't be such a fool. Set your foot there. Now pull the oar with all your force.
How can I? I've had no practice. I'm no sailor. Besides, I'm not from Salamis. How am I supposed to row a boat?
It's not hard. You'll hear lovely melodies if you make the effort.
Songs? Whose songs?
The amazing songs of the swan frogs.
All right then. Get the tempo going.
Yo ho heave ho. Yo ho heave ho.
As the small boat begins to move, the chorus of frogs is heard from off stage.
Children of the marsh and lake, harmonious song now sweetly make our own enchanting melodies. The songs we sang for Nisus Lord, for Dionysus, son of Zeus, at Lenaia in the Feast of Jars, as people in their drunken glee thronged into our sanctuary.
Starting to get a pain in the ass from all your... Not that you'd give a damn about it. Piss off and take that with you. Nothing but...
Yes, and for us that's fine, you meddling fool. So asinine. Music-loving muses love us too, as does goat-footed Pan, playing music on melodious pipes. Apollo, as he strums his lyre, loves us in what we sing. For in the marshy waters here, we grow the reeds that bridge his string.
Well, I'm getting blisters and a sweaty bum. Next time I bend down, it's going to speak.
As Dionysus leans forward for the next stroke, he lifts his rear end up into the air to fart at the frog chorus, but their next line drowns out the sound.
Stop it, you music-loving tribe.
No, we'll sing on all the more. If we've ever hopped on shore on sunny days through weeds and rushes, rejoicing in our lovely songs as we dive and dive once more, or as from Zeus's reign we flee to sing our varied harmonies in the bottom of a marsh, our bubbles splashing melodies.
From you, I'm catching your disease.
If that's the case, you'll never please. That's hard on us.
But worse for me. I may blow up here as I row. Go on, keep croaking. I don't care.
We'll croak on till our throats wear out. We'll croak all day.
You'll never beat me in this play.
And you've no chance to win your way, not matched with us.
And you've no hope outdoing me. No, if I must, I'll yell all day, brrrring you to get my way. Brrr.
Dionysus listens for a response from the chorus, but there is none.
You see? Sooner or later, I was going to win and make you stop your harsh brrrring din.
Stop that! Ship that oar alongside and get out. And pay your fare.
2 obols? Here.
Dionysus pays Charon, who rows his way off stage. Dionysus starts looking around for Xanthias.
Xanthias? Hey, Xanthias!
Over here.
Come here.
Xanthias appears with the bags, but without the donkey.
Greetings, master.
All right. What have we got?
Nothing but filthy muck, mud and darkness.
Did you see the men who beat their fathers? Or perjurers, the ones he mentioned?
You mean you don't?
Dionysus looks at the audience.
By Poseidon, yes, I do. Now I see them. So what do we do next?
Well, better get away from here. Hercules mentioned to us it's the place where wild beasts prowl.
Hell with him. He was talking big to make me scared. He saw I was a fighter, and he's jealous. No one's more full of it than Hercules. But I'm keen now for some adventure, some exploit worthy of this expedition.
Of course you are. What is that? I hear a noise.
What? Where is it?
It's behind us.
Get behind me.
No, it's in front of us.
You get in front.
Oh my God, now I see it. Oh, a monstrous beast.
Dionysus cowers behind Xanthias.
What's it like?
Oh, it's weird. All sorts of shapes. Now it's an ox. No. Now it's a jackass. Oh, now it's a woman. Oh, what a lovely babe.
Where is she?
No, she's not a woman anymore. Now she's a bitch.
It's Empusa.
Her whole face is on fire.
Her legs. Does she have one made of bronze?
Yes, by Poseidon, yes. Oh, and the other's made of cow shit. That is no lie.
Oh, where can I run?
Where can I run?
Oh, holy man, save me so we can do it
We're
together.
screwed. Oh, Lord Hercules.
Don't call me that. I'm begging you, my man. Don't say that name.
Dionysus, then.
That's worse than Hercules.
Beat it! Shoo! Come on, master.
What's going on?
Just cheer up. We've come through everything just fine. Now, like Hegelicus, we can recite, "After the storm, I see the seals are calm." And Pusa's left. So,
You swear?
cross my heart.
Swear again.
Yes, by Zeus.
Swear it one more time.
By Zeus, I swear.
That was a close shave. Looking at her almost made me puke.
You were so terrified you stained your pants.
Whoa, why do such ills afflict me so? Which god shall I accuse of thus destroying me?
How about Zeus's airy pediter, or at the foot of time?
The sound of music being played on the pipes comes from inside the house.
Listen.
What is it?
You don't hear that?
What?
A tune played on the flute.
Ah, yes. And now the scent of torches just came wafting o'er me. Torches of mystery.
Okay, get down. Keep quiet, pay attention.
The chorus of initiates is heard off stage.
Iacchus, oh Iacchus, Iacchus, oh Iacchus.
Master, this is it. The initiates doing their chant, the ones he talked about, the Diogenes' hymn to Iacchus.
It sounds like that to me. We'd best shut up so we find out for sure.
Iacchus, living here in your highly honored shrines. Iacchus, oh Iacchus, in this meadow, come to dance with partners in your mystery. Shake the garland round your head, the fruit-filled myrtle, come and tread our playful rites unbridled steps, where the graces join in too. Our pure and sacred dance and song, the chant of your initiate throng.
I think...
Oh, holy noble daughter of Demeter, I just smelt roast pork. What a sweet smell that is.
If you keep quiet, you may just get a slice.
Enter the chorus of initiates carrying torches.
Awake the blazing torches in your hands!
Oh, Iacchus, with us you stand, light-bearing star in our nocturnal rite. For now the meadow blazes light. Old men's knees will move again as they dance off their ancient pain, the lengthy cycle of their aged plight. In this, your ceremonial night, as your radiant torches blaze, bring to this flowery, marshy place the forward march of all the young that constitute your choral throng. O sacred one!
Let all those stand in silence here and keep their distance from our dance. All those who have no sure command of ritual words and purposes, who have not purified their hearts, the ones who've never seen or danced the noble muses' ritual songs, or played their part in Bacchic rites of bold devouring Cratinus, or like words fit for foolish clowns when such words are not suitable, or anyone who just can't turn away from fights and hateful party strife, who cannot be a genial citizen, easygoing with his countrymen, but lights and fans the flames of war, ambitious for advance himself. Whoever guides our state through storms and is corrupted by some bribe, betrays our watchpost and our ships, or from Aegina smuggles goods, like that wretched Thorsion, or a customs agent who's shipped off illicit stuff to Epidaurus, or pads and cloth for sails and pitch, or who persuades some other man to send supplies to hostile ships, or anyone opposing Hecate in diarrhythmic choruses, or any politician setting out to pay our poets get because they mock him in these rites, ancient rites of Dionysus. I say to all such people, and I say again, and for a third time, I state once more, stand back from our choral mysteries. But those now here begin the songs and dances lasting all night long, as fits our ceremonial throng.
Oh, now each one boldly marches on into the meadow's flowery lap, and each one stamps the ground. We joke, make fun, we mock, our bellies crammed with breakfast food.
Move on now, but see you praise the saving goddess in a noble way as you sing out our melodies. She says she acts to save our land from season unto season against the wishes of Thorsion. Come now, cry aloud another chant for goddess Demeter, our harvest queen, a celebration made in sacred song.
Demeter, queen of our sacred rites, stand with us here, preserve us now, your chorus. Let me play in safety, let me dance all day, tell lots of really funny jokes and offer many serious reflections too. Then, as befits your ceremonial rites, let me, with my ridicule and fun, take off first prize. Let me wear the wreath garland of victory.
Come now with your singing, summon here that lovely god, our partner in this dance.
Widely honored Iacchus, creator of the sweetest joyful song, come here with us to Demeter. Show us how you move along this lengthy way with so much ease. Iacchus, lover of the dance, escort me forward as I prance.
Dionysus approaches the leader of the chorus.
Could you please inform the two of us where Pluto lives when he's at home down here? We're strangers in these parts. We've just arrived.
No need to travel very far from here, so don't ask me again. You should know you're there, right at this very door.
All right, lad. Pick up the bags again.
What's all this mean? Same old story. Zeus, son of Corinth. All this baggage.
Oh, keep up the dance along the round path sacred to our goddess, to the flower-bearing grove. Let's play with those who join this festival, the one our goddess so adores. I'll join the women and the girls who dance to the goddess all night long, the ones who bear the sacred light. Oh, let's move on into flowery meadows, the rose-filled fields, and worship there, the way we always do with song and dance, where blessed fates assemble too.
Chorus exits.
Let's see. What style do I use at this point to knock upon the door? Which one to use? What's the local style of knocking down here?
Stop wasting time. Try chewing on the door. Act like Hercules. You've got his height and might.
You in there, doorkeeper?
Who is it?
It's great Hercules.
Iacchus bursts through the door and grabs Dionysus very roughly.
Oh, you abominable, you shameless, reckless wretch, villain, damn smiling villain, the man who made off with Cerberus, my dog. You grabbed him by the throat and throttled him, then took off on the run while I stood guard. Now you're caught. Black-hearted Stygian rocks and blood-dripping peaks of Acheron will hold you down. Roaming hounds of Cocytus will gnaw your guts to bits. Echidna, too, and she's 100 heads. The Tartessian eel will chew your lungs. Your kidneys bleed. From entrails Tithracian gorgons rip apart. I'll set out hot foot in their direction.
Iacchus lets go of Dionysus, who drops to the ground in terror. Exit Iacchus back into the house. Dionysus lifts his tunic and inspects his underpants.
What have you done?
I've made an offering. Call a god.
You're being ridiculous. Just get up, move it before someone sees us. Some stranger spots you.
I'm going to faint. Bring the sponge here. Set it on my heart.
Xanthias rummages through the bags and finds a large sponge.
I have found the sponge! Here, you can do it.
Dionysus takes the sponge and begins to clean up his crotch with it.
Where are you putting the... Oh, golden gods. You keep your heart in there?
It was scared. It ran off to my lower bowel.
Of all gods and men, no one is more cowardly than you.
Me? How can I be when I asked you for the sponge? Another man would not have asked, as I did.
What would he have done?
Well, a coward would have lain there and stunk up the place. But I stood up. What's more, I wiped myself.
By Poseidon, a valiant act.
By Zeus, I think it was. Weren't you scared shitless by his angry words, by all those threats?
By Zeus, I never thought of them.
All right, then. Since you're so brave, so valiant, you can be me. Take this scarf, if you've got the guts. I'll trade places with you. I'll carry all the baggage.
All right. Got no choice. Quick, give me the thing. Ugh. Yeah. Now, gaze upon the Xanthian Hercules. You see if I turn coward and act like you, huh?
No, by God, you'll well deserve a whipping. Come on, then. I'll pick up the bags.
Dionysus starts to pick up a few of the smaller pieces. A servant enters through the door.
Have you come back, my dearest Hercules? Come on in. Once the goddess heard you'd come, she had us baking bread loaves right away, boiling up pea soup, 2 or 3 cauldrons full, roasting an entire ox, baking honey cakes and cookies, so do come in.
That is really nice. But I'm afraid
I won't let you get away. By Apollo, no. She's stewing bird meat, toasting fresh desserts, mixing sweetest wines. Please come in.
I appreciate it, but
You can't be serious. I won't let you leave. There's a lovely flute girl in there just for you. 2 or 3 dancing girls as well.
What's that you said? Dancing girls? Is that?
So come on in. Right now the cook's all ready to produce the fish. The table's being brought in.
You get go on back. At first, you tell those dancing girls I'm coming, huh? You there, follow me, bring the baggage.
Hey, hold on a minute. All this pretense, you can't be taking it so seriously. The fact I dressed you up as Hercules is just fun. Don't play the fool with me. Pick up these bags again and bring them in.
What? You're not intending to take back from me what you gave in person.
You bet I am. Take off that lion skin.
I want witnesses. I entreat my lawsuit to the gods.
What gods? To think that you, a mortal, could play Hercules, Alcmene's son. It's so arrogant and stupid.
All right. All right, have it your way then. Take the costume, huh? And perhaps someday the gods will make you need me.
There's a man with brains, with keen intelligence, someone who's sailed about a bit and always rolls himself around to the right side of the ship. He's not one to stand transfixed like some image made in paint or frozen solid like a stone. To move away from where one stands to places much more comfortable, that indicates a clever man, a born Theramenes.
Now, that would have been extremely funny to see Xanthias lying at ease, enjoying bed linen from Milesia as he smooches with some dancing girl. He asks me for a pot to piss in, but I, looking at him straight, grab him hard, right by his cucumber. So, but then he'd see me, and being a rascal, sock me in the jaw. He'd knock my front teeth out for sure.
Pantocrator, a landlady, enters through the door, looks at Dionysus, and calls back through the doorway.
Planthony, come out here. That fellow's back who came to our hotel and ate up all our bread. All 16 loaves.
Enter Plantony, another landlady.
My God, that's the one.
Uh-oh, someone's in trouble.
And 20 boiled hams afterwards as well, at half an oboe each.
Now he's in for it.
And lots of garlic, too.
My good women, you jest. You don't know what you're saying.
Oh, yes, we do. You thought I wouldn't know you anymore because you've got those little booties on? What else was there? I haven't even said a word about the pickled fish.
You left out all the fresh cheese, by God, this scoundrel ate. He gobbled up the baskets, too.
To top it all, when I tallied up his bill, he just looked at me and yelled a massive roar right in my face.
You know, that's just like him. He does that everywhere.
Then he pulled out his sword. He looked insane.
My God, you poor dear.
We were both terrified. Somehow we ran up fast onto the shelf and he took off, grabbing up the meats.
Well, that's exactly how he operates. Yeah, so.
We've got to deal with him somehow.
Yeah.
I know. Go call my patron Cleon.
If you meet him, get Hyperbolus as well. We'll fix this fellow.
You wretched, greedy swine, I'd be so happy to smash your molars with a rock, those teeth which gobbled down my stuff.
That's really nice. And I'd like to dump you in a deep ravine.
I could take a sickle and slice that gullet which wolfed down all my tripe. Instead of that, I'll get Cleon to draw up a charge, so we can fish food out of him right here.
Exit Platony and Pantocrator.
Now, may I die the nastiest of deaths. My little Xanthias, if I'm not fond of you...
I know what you're thinking. You just stop right there, okay? I'm Hercules again, but I won't do it.
Dear little Xanthias, don't say such things.
How could I be Hercules? Remember, I am just a mere mortal. Yeah.
I know you're angry.
Hmm.
Right to be. But even if you hit me, I won't criticize. And if in future I take anything from you, may I be chopped down, root and branch. Let me die in the worst way possible. Me, my wife, my kids, and Archidemus too, the man with clammy eyes.
On these conditions, I accept your oath.
Xanthias and Dionysus exchange the scarf once again.
Since you've taken up the skin, the one you had before, your task is now to start again, to reinvigorate yourself. Once more, put on that dreadful stare, recall the god you imitate. If you get caught in foolish talk or squeak out squeals of fear, you'll be compelled a second time to carry all the bags.
Man, the advice you give me is not bad. I was thinking the same thing myself. What's more, if all this turns out a success, he'll try to take this back from me again. I know that for a fact. But I'll make myself a manly man with a gaze like mustard. I need to do that for, just as I thought, I hear the sound of scraping by the door.
Enter Iacus with servants.
Tie up this dog thief. Get a move on, too, so we can punish him. Be quick about it.
Oh, someone's in trouble now.
Hey, whoa, what the hell? You stay away from me, huh?
Oh, you're fighting back?
Falling inside the house.
Daedalus, Sciblius, Pandicus, outside. Come here and punch this fellow out.
Servants appear and begin to fight Xanthias.
It's shameful. A complete disgrace. The way he hits them back. And more than that, he steals.
That's shocking.
Oh, it's even worse. It's scandalous and dreadful.
Okay, now, by God, I am prepared to die if I was ever here before today or stole a thing that was worth more than a hair. What's more, I'll make you an offer, like a true gentleman. Take this mortal and torture him. If you find out from him I've done wrong, then take me out and kill me.
And how should I torture him?
Oh, all the ways there are. Tie him to a ladder, hang him up, whip him with nails, twist him on the rack, strip off the skin, fill his nose with vinegar, load bricks on him. You know, do everything you can. Just don't flog him with fresh onions and a leek.
That offer's fair. I'll torture him right here so he'll confess before your very eyes. Put down that load and hurry up. Don't give me any lies.
I here proclaim that no one should torture me. I'm an immortal god. If you do so, you'll have yourself to blame.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I'm Dionysus, an immortal, a son of Zeus. This man here is immortal.
Do you hear that?
I hear what he claims to be. All the more good reason for flogging him. You know, if he's a god, he won't feel a thing.
Oh, you're right. And since you also claim that you're a god, why don't you take as many blows as me?
Fair enough. Then whichever of the two of us you see bursting into tears or flinching as he's whipped, you'll know he's not the god.
Oh, well, you're a fine gentleman, that's obvious. You stand for justice. All right?
How will you judge this? How will you keep it fair?
Oh, that's easy. I'll alternate the blows.
A fine suggestion.
There.
Watch closely if I flinch or not.
But I just hit you.
By God, I didn't feel a thing.
All right. Now I'll lay into this one here.
Please, yes.
When are you going to start my whipping?
I just did.
Oh, why didn't I sneeze?
I haven't a clue. All right. Back to this one again.
Get on with it. Ah!
Oh, what's that sound about? Did that blow hurt?
No, by God, I was just remembering the feast for Hercules at Diomea.
Well, the man's a saint. All right, now it's this one's turn.
Oh,
what was that cry?
I see men on horseback.
And why are your eyes full of tears?
I smell onions.
You didn't feel a thing?
No, nothing that bothered me.
All right then, back to this one here. What was that?
Little
thorn in his hand.
Just pull it out.
Oh, what is going on? Now it's this one's turn.
Oh, Apollo.
Oh, you hear that? The man's in pain.
Delphi and Delos. No, I'm not in pain. I was remembering some poetry, a verse from Hipponax.
You're getting nowhere. Hit him in the ribs.
A good idea, by God. Stick out that pot of yours.
Oh, Poseidon.
Someone's feeling pain.
Dionysus continues to recite poetry.
You who command Aegean headlines and the green-gray sea.
Holy Demeter, I can't sort this out. Which one is the god? You'd best come inside. My master Pluto will know who you are, and so will Persephone, his wife. They're gods.
Now you're talking. Though I'd have liked it better if you'd have thought of that before these whippings.
Dionysus and Xanthias and Iacchus go into the house, leaving the chorus on stage.
You muses, enter now our sacred dance, enjoy our songs, and gaze upon the massive crowds of people here. Thousands of clever thinkers in their seats, in love with honor more than Cleophon, on whose snarling lips a Thracian swallow sits, making an awful din. On that foreign leaf she squawks her nightingale's lament, for he'll soon be sent to die, although the jury's votes create a tie. It's just improper in this city our sacred chorus give advice and teach. So first it seems appropriate to us to free citizens from inequalities, to ease their fears. So if a man slips up thanks to the wrestling tricks of Phernicus, I say we should allow the ones who fall to state their case, reform their evil ways. Besides, that's no dishonor to our city. It would bring benefits. It's scandalous that those who fought a battle once at sea should instantly become plebeians, masters instead of slaves. I don't deny this worked out well. In fact, I praise it. It's the only well-intentioned thing you did. But as well as this, it stands to reason. We should forget the single blow of fortune of those who fought so much at sea beside you, just like their fathers, your ethnic kinsmen. That's what they keep requesting. But you here, whom nature made the wisest of all people, should drop your anger and make everyone who fights alongside us at sea a kinsman, a citizen. For if we are too proud, too puffed up with self-worth, especially now when we're encircled by the sea's embrace, in future time we'll look like total fools. If I've a keen sense of the life and style of someone who will someday cry in woe, this tiny, irritating ape, Cleogenes, the most corrupt of all our laundry types, whose noble men who cut the soap with ash, dilute the mix, and use simoleon earth, won't be with us long. He knows it too. That's why he's not a man promoting peace. He knows that someday, in a drunken fit, he may lose his staff of office, and more than that, be stripped of all his clothes. This city, it often seems to me, treats our best and worthiest citizens the way it does our old silver coins, our new gold ones as well. This money was never counterfeit. No, these coins appeared to be the finest coins of all, the only ones which bore the proper stamp. Everywhere among barbarians and Greeks they stood the test, but these we do not use. Instead, we have our debased coins of bronze, poorly struck some days ago or yesterday. That's how we treat our finest citizens, the nobly born, our righteous men, our best and brightest, the ones well trained in music and in dance at the Palaestra. Instead, we use foreign bronze for everything. Useless men from useless fathers, redheads, men who've come here very recently, the sort the city at its most negligent would never use in earlier days. Not even as a scapegoat. But now, you silly fools, it's time to change your ways. Use worthy people once again. You see, if you're successful, then you'll merit praise. And if you fail, well, you'll be a fine match for the tree you're hanging from. At any rate, should you slip up, that's what the wise will say.
Enter Xanthias with a servant from the house.
What you just did is something I love to do.
Oh. Forgive my asking, what is it that you love to do?
Oh, it's more than love, almost ecstasy when I can curse my master out of earshot.
What about really bitching? You know, well, whenever you've received a total thrashing and run outside.
Yes, I do like that too.
What about sticking your nose in everything? Huh?
Oh my God, there's nothing finer, that's for sure.
By Zeus, divine protector of our race, what about listening to our masters chat when they speak gossip?
Oh, I'm even crazier for that.
Passing on the gossip all around to everyone outside the house.
Oh, you mean me? Every time I do that, I piss myself.
Oh, by Phoebus Apollo, give me your hand. Oh, let me kiss you and you kiss me. And
Xanthias notices a noise from inside the house.
What's going on inside the house? A noise of that yelling and abuse.
Oh, that's Euripides and Aeschylus.
Aha!
Oh, big troubles in the works down here among the dead. It's a massive civil war.
What about?
There's a custom in these parts that in the arts, the great and worthy ones, the best man in his special area gets all his meals for free at City Hall in the chair of honor next to Pluto.
I get it.
Until someone else arrives who has more skill than he does, and at that point he has to yield his place.
Why would this get Aeschylus upset?
Oh, well, he had his chair, the one for tragedy, as the finest in that form of art.
Who's got it now?
When Euripides came down to Hades, he started showing off his rhetoric to thieves, bag snatchers, parasites, all the ones who steal, and here in Hades, that's most of us. Well, they listened to him, heard his counter-arguments, his twists and turns, and went nuts for him. So then they proposed he was the wisest of all men. And with that, Euripides got so worked up, he claimed that chair where Aeschylus sits down.
Didn't people throw stuff at him?
Oh my God, no. Quite the opposite. They all cried out to have a trial set up, which could find out which of the two men was the wiser poet.
The crowd of scoundrels.
Yes, that bunch. They made a din, by God, right up to heaven.
Didn't Aeschylus get some support?
No, it's like this audience. Too few good men.
So what is Pluto planning to set up?
A contest. There's going to be a trial right here, a test of skill.
What about Sophocles? How come he didn't claim the poet's chair?
Oh my God, he wouldn't. When he first arrived, he kissed Aeschylus, shook him by the hand, and kept his distance from the chair of honor. And now, according to Clytemnestra, he means to sit by as a substitute. If Aeschylus wins out, he'll keep his place, and if not, in this contest of poetic skill, he says he will fight on to the bitter end against Euripides.
So this affair is on.
Yes, in a minute. In this very spot, some fairly weird things will be going on. They're testing poetry with balance scales.
What, they'll weigh tragedy in milligrams?
And they're bringing out some measuring sticks, rulers for words, framed rectangles.
Will they be constructing bricks?
Bevels, too, and wedges, all because Euripides says he'll test their tragedies, every word.
Well, my guess is that Aeschylus isn't liking this at all.
No, he just glared, lowering his head as if he were a bull.
Who's going to judge this trial?
That's difficult. Wise men are hard to find, in short supply, and Aeschylus didn't really hit it off with the Athenians.
Perhaps because he thought they were all criminals.
And he considered other people worthless as judges of true poetry. So at last they turned to your master, since he's got some knowledge of that art. But let's go in. There's always trouble for us every time our master's in a rush.
Xanthias and the servant go into the house.
Now the loud roaring hero feels full in his fury, that valiant vehemence which surges up within when he confronts his rival in poetic craft, sharpening smooth talking tusks just like a boar, his frenzied passions going to make those eyeballs roll. The battle's here at hand, helmet glancing war, horse-crested words while splintered axles break apart as the subtle chisel worker tries to push and parry. Steed prancing phrases from the man who builds our minds, the bristling crest erect there on his shaggy neck, his natural hair, a fearful scowl upon his brow, and bellowing he'll launch his language fixed with bolts like a planking for a ship. He'll rip the words apart, blasting with his giant's lungs. The other man, the one who works his mouth, who tortures every word, unrolling his smooth tongue and shaking envy's rein, will dissect and parse those words, and splitting hairs refute all that large labor of the former's lungs.
Enter Aeschylus, Euripides, Dionysus, and Pluto with attendants.
I'll not give up the chair. No more advice. I say I'm better in poetic skill.
Why are you silent, Aeschylus? You hear the claim he's made.
His high and mighty pose, he does that at the start of every play. Some hocus pocus for his tragedies.
My dear fellow, that's too much big talk.
I know the man, and for a long time now, I've studied him. He makes crude characters with stubborn tongues. As for his own mouth, it's unrestrained and uncontrolled. Unlocked, no proper discourse, bombastiloquent.
Is that so, you garden goddess child? You say that of me, you gossip monger, a beggar's poet who picks and stitches rags. You'll regret those words.
Hey, Aeschylus, hold on. Don't fire up your heart so angrily, with such ill will.
No, I won't hold back till I've exposed the man and clearly proved this cripple's poet is a boastful fool.
Hey, boys, bring out a sheep, a black one, too. It looks as if a storm's about to break.
Collecting all those monades from Crete, importing impure marriage into art.
Ooh, hold on there, much honored Aeschylus. And you, my poor Euripides, back off beyond this breaking storm. That would be wise, in case his anger cracks your skull in two. Some heady phrase makes all your brain leak out your hero Telephos. And you there, Aeschylus, don't get so angry. Test him, but calmly, and then be tested too. It's just not right for poets to engage in such abuse, like two women selling bread. You bellow as if you were a tree on fire.
I'm ready. I don't mind biting or being bitten first. Whatever he prefers about my diction or the songs and sinews of my tragic plays. And by God, about Peleus too. My Meleager or my Aelios, or even more about my Telephos.
What do you want to do? Tell us, Aeschylus.
I have no wish to enter battle here. The war we fight is not on equal terms.
Why's that?
My poetry did not die with me, but his did once he died, so it's down here. He'll have it with him when he wants to speak. But nonetheless, since it's what you want, we must go through with this.
Come now, someone bring an offering here, and fire as well, so I can pray before this contest starts, our battle of the brains, and judge the fight with maximum aesthetic expertise. And now for the muses, you should sing a song.
Oh, you 9 sacred muses, mighty Zeus's virgin daughters, gazing down on subtle minds, you see intelligence at work in men who write our maxims. When such as these go out to fight, with counter-arguments and tricks, with fiercely studied wrestling moves, with crooked throws, come to us here, observe the power of these mouths, their awesome skill in making words, sawing phrases up like sawdust. Now our great contest in this art stands ready. Let the business start.
Before we have you two recite your lines, you ought to offer up your prayers.
O Demeter, who nourishes my mind, make me worthy to be there in your mysteries.
It's your turn. Take some incense. Make an offering.
All right, but I pray to different gods.
Personal ones? Your very own, freshly minted?
That's right.
Then pray away to those private gods of yours.
O air, my food, O pivot of my tongue, O native wit, O nose that smells so fine. Whatever words I seize upon, let me refute them. Let the victory be mine.
Now we're filled with great desire to hear from poets with such skill. The pathway in this war of words they'll walk along. It looks as though we're going to see one man say something quite urbane and finely trimmed. The other one will seize him and his arguments, the roots and all, and then attack and scatter words around the place like wrestle rolling on a map.
You must speak at full speed, but see you talk this way, with elegance, no metaphors, and nothing someone else might say.
All right. As for myself, the kind of poet I am, I'll say that in my final words. For first, I'll demonstrate this fellow's fraudulent, a cheat. I'll show just how he took them in and fooled those idiots reared on Phrenicus. First, he'd wrap a person up and sit him down with his face hidden away. Some character like Niobe or his Achilles. Mere window dressing for the tragedy. They didn't speak or even mutter.
That's right, they didn't.
And then his chorus thumped out their lyrics, strings of them, 4 in a row without a break. The character just sat on stage in silence.
Well, I liked that they kept quiet. It pleased me. It wasn't any worse than those today who babble on and on.
You were a fool, no doubt of it.
I think so too. But why so? Why did our friend here do that?
It was a trick, designed to keep spectators in their seats, waiting for when Niobe might start to speak, so the play continued on and on and on.
What a rascal! How he had me fooled. Why are you fretting there and fidgeting?
Because I've caught him out. When he'd play this trick and half the play was done, someone would speak up. A dozen ox-like words with eyebrows, crests, some fear-faced things full of the boogeyman, which no one in the audience understood.
How miserable I feel.
Shh, shh, shh. Stay quiet, please.
Nothing he said was ever clear.
Don't grind your teeth.
He talked on about scamanders, trenches, shields with bronze-enabled griffin eagles in horse-cleft phrases hard to comprehend.
Yes, by God, one long night I got no sleep from worrying what kind of bird was called the tawny, clear-voiced horsecock.
You idiot! It was a symbol painted on the ships.
I thought it was Euripides, Philoxenus' son.
Did you have to work a rooster in just for the tragedy?
You godforsaken wretch! What sort of plays did you create,
None like you. No monsters, by God! The sort they paint on Persian tapestries. When I first took this art of plays from you, crammed with bombast to the gills, fustian stuff. At first I made it slim, reduced its weight, with vesticles and walks and laxatives. I gave a potion drawn from bookish chat and took care nursing it with Monades.
And you mixed in Sophisophon as well.
I wasn't fool enough to put in there whatever stuff I chanced upon, or add just anything I found. The character who came out first would right away explain on my behalf the background of the play.
Which was better than your own, by God.
And after those opening words, I never said anything superfluous in the play. No, for me, the woman spoke. So did the slave, the master, maiden, the old woman too.
Well, shouldn't you be killed for daring this?
By Apollo, no, I was doing my work the democratic way.
My dear chap, I'd forget that. From your point of view, that's not the best line you could take.
I taught these people to speak their minds.
I say so too, and before doing that, I wish you'd split apart right down the middle.
Introducing subtle rules for words, for verses nicely trimmed. I taught them to think, to see, to understand, to love new twists, and double dealing, to suspect the worst, and to be too smart in everything.
I agree.
And I brought in domestic issues too. useful things we understand, things people here could challenge me about. They know their stuff, so they could test my art. I didn't boast or lose my common sense. I taught these people here to think about such things. I brought logic into art. I made them questioners. Now they see everything and understand it all. Their minds are more profound. They organize their homes much better than before. So now they ask, where's this? How's it going? Who took that?
Yes, by God, that's what they do.
You see this, radiant Achilles? Come now, what can you say to him? Don't let your anger take control and carry you beyond the track. He's charged you with some dreadful things, but now, you, noble gentleman, respond to him. But not with wrath. Haul in your sails, accept the tips, then bit by bit, bring in your ship. Keep watching for an easy wind. You just may get a gentle breeze.
Now you, who were first among the Greeks to raise the solemn towers of spoken words, adorning them with tragic gibberish, be strong and spout forth eloquence.
This trial enrages me. It pains my spleen to have to answer to such a man. But still, to stop your claim that I'm incompetent, you answer this for me. Why should anyone admire the man who is a poet?
For cleverness and good advice, and since we help improve the men who live within our cities.
So, if that's something you didn't do, instead transforming fine and decent men to make them scoundrels, what would you say you then deserve by way of punishment?
Death, but don't ask him.
Consider first the nature of the men he got from me. Were they not nobly born and 6 feet tall? There were no runaways, no layabouts, no scoundrels like today, no ne'er-do-wells, no! Those men breathed spears and javelins, white-crested helmets, coronets, and greaves, with passions wrapped in 7 oxhide folds.
This is getting bad.
His helmet making wears me down.
What exactly did you do to make these men so noble?
Aeschylus, speak up. Forget your pride and stubbornness.
I wrote a play brimful of war god Ares.
Which one was that?
My 7 against Thebes. Every man who saw it fell in love with war.
But you did something bad there with the Thebans. You made them more courageous in the war. For that, you should be spanked.
You too. You could have trained yourselves for war as well, but you weren't so inclined. Then, after that, by putting on my Persians, I instructed them so they were always keen to beat their foes, thus honoring our finest act.
I was pleased when you cried out in sorrowful lament, "O child of Darius, who is dead!" And then the chorus clapped its hands and all yelled out, "Boo-hoo!"
Poets need to work on things like this. Look back, they've been useful from the start, the noble race of poets. There's Orpheus, he taught us rituals and not to kill. Musaeus showed us cures for sicknesses and oracles as well. And Hesiod taught farming, harvest times, and how to plow. As for divine Homer, where's his renown, his special fame, if not in what he taught? Those useful facts about courageous deeds and battle ranks and how men arm themselves.
Well, that may be, but Homer didn't teach a thing to Pantocles, that clumsy oaf. The other day while marching on parade, he clipped his helmet on, and then he tried to tie the crest on top.
And brave men too. Homer gave us lots. With them the hero Lamachus. I took Homeric warriors and let my brain write many noble deeds about great lion-hearted fighting men like Patroclus and Teucer. In this way, I urged our citizens to match themselves with them when they heard the trumpet sound. But by God, I never made a single whore like Phaedra or that Stenobia. No one's ever known me as a man who writes about the way a woman loves.
No, by God, whatever you possess, there's nothing there of Aphrodite.
Let her stay away. But she took her seat when she sat down on you and yours. She really squashed you flat.
She sure did, by God. What you wrote about the wives of other men, you had to suffer with your own.
You wretched man, how has my Cenoboia harmed our state?
Because you helped persuade the noble wives of well-born men to drink down hemlock, ashamed of those like your Bellerophon.
My Phaedra story, did I make that up?
No, it was there, but it's a poet's task to conceal disgrace, not put it on parade front and center and instruct men in it. Small children have a teacher helping them. For young men, there's the poets. We've got a solemn duty to say useful things.
When you spout on of Lycabettus and subjects like magnificent Parnassus, does this involve your teaching useful things? We need to use the language people use.
You pestering demon! Don't you see that noble thoughts and fine ideas perforce produce a language of commensurate size? Besides, it's fitting for the demigods to speak in loftier terms, just as they wear much finer robes than ours. But you besmirched what I displayed with such nobility.
What did I do?
First, you dressed your kings in rags to make them pitiful to all who watched.
If I did that, what damage did it do?
It's your fault. No rich man anymore is keen to pay out money for a ship. Instead, he wraps himself in rags and weeps and whines about how poor he is.
Yes, by Demeter, that's true. But underneath he wears a tunic of pure wool. And then, if he deceives them with a speech like that, he pops up in the market by the fish.
And then you taught them how to babble on with stupid gossip, so the wrestling schools stood empty, and the buttocks of our young, who chattered all the time, were quite worn out. You then convinced the Paralys's crew to argue with their officers. In my day, they were ignorant of this. All they knew was how to yell for food and cry, yo-ho.
By Apollo, that's right.
What crimes is he not guilty of? Did he not put on display pimps and women giving birth in holy shrines and having sex with their own brothers and then claim that living is no life? So now, because of him, our city here is crammed with bureaucratic types and stupid democratic apes who always cheat our people. Nobody carries on the torch. No one's trained in that these days.
No, by God, they're not.
The event is huge, the strife intense. The mighty war goes on. It's hard to choose. When one man presses hard, the other one wheels around and launches the attack once more. You two, don't you stay inactive where you sit. For wit knows many varied ways to strike, and so, no matter what you're fighting for, speak out. Set to, bring up your works, the old and new. Put your daring to the test. Say something that's intelligent and deft. Don't be afraid the people watching here are just too ignorant and will not see the subtle points in what you two may say. Don't worry on that score, for it's not true. They've served in wars, and each man owns a book. He understands the witty parts. You see, it's in their nature to possess strong minds, but now the whetstones really sharpened them. So have no fears. Examine everything, at least for the spectators' benefits, since they've become so wise.
All right, I'll turn to the prologues you composed, so I can start off a test to check the first part of a clever poet's tragedy. In setting down just how events occurred, this man was never clear.
Which one will you test?
Quite a few, but first, will you recite to me the opening to your Orestia?
Let everyone keep quiet. Achilles, speak.
O Hermes underground, who oversees my father's power, be my rescuer, my ally, answering the prayers I make. I've come back and returned unto this land.
You see some flaws in this?
More than a dozen.
But the whole thing's only 4 lines long.
And each of them has 20 errors.
Yeah, I warn you, Aeschylus, keep quiet. If not, you'll forfeit those 4 lines and owe some more.
Am I to remain silent just for him?
I think that's best.
Right at the very start, he made a huge mistake, as high as heaven.
You do see you're talking rubbish?
If so, it doesn't bother me.
You claim I'm wrong. Well, where are my mistakes?
Recite the start again.
O Hermes underground, who oversees my father's power.
Orestes says this at the tomb of his dead father, does he not?
I won't deny it.
Since his father died a brutal death at the hands of his own wife and by a secret trick, how can he claim that Hermes watches over anything?
That's not my sense. When he speaks, he means Hermes, god of luck, who watches all the dead. And his words clearly show that this Hermes obtained that office from his father Zeus.
So you've made an even bigger blunder than I thought. If this subterranean job comes from his dad.
If that's the case, he's a grave robber on his father's side.
That's cheap wine you're drinking, Dionysus. It lacks bouquet.
Recite another line for him. And you, take care about the damage you inflict.
My father's power be my rescuer, my ally, answering the prayers I make. I've come back and returned unto this land.
The skillful Aeschylus has just revealed the same thing twice.
How so?
Look at the verse. All right, I'll tell you. I've come back is followed by the word returned. Coming back and returning, they mean the same.
Yes, by God. Exactly like a man who says to someone, hey, lend me a baking dish, or if you like, a dish for baking.
You blithering idiot. It's not the same at all. That line of verse has beautifully chosen words.
It does? Then show me what you mean.
To come unto a land refers to someone with a native home. He's come back. There's nothing else implied. But when a man arrives who's been in exile, he comes back and returns.
Ooh, by Apollo, that's good. What do you say to that, Euripides?
I say, Orestes didn't return home. He came in secret, without permission from those in charge.
By Hermes, that's good. But I don't get what you mean.
Come on then, try another line.
Yes, let's have some more. Get a move on, Aeschylus. And you, keep looking out for something bad.
Aeschylus reciting more lines.
On this heaped up burial mound, I pray my father hears and listens.
It's there again. He's saying the same thing twice. To hear, to listen, obviously the same.
Well, you fool, he is speaking to the dead, and we don't reach them even with a triple prayer.
All right, how do you compose your prologues?
I'll tell you. And if I say the same thing twice, or you see extra padding there, some verse that doesn't suit the plot, then spit on me.
Come on, speak up. I need to clearly hear the language in your prologues working well.
Euripides reciting from one of his plays.
Oedipus, to start, was a lucky man.
By God, no, he wasn't. His nature gave him a dreadful fate. Before his birth, Apollo said he'd murder his own father. He wasn't even born. How could he be a lucky man right at the very start?
Then he became most wretched of all men.
No, by God, he always was like that. And why? Because as soon as he was born, he was exposed out in the cold in a pot, so he wouldn't grow into a murderer and kill his father. He dragged himself away to Polybus on mutilated feet, and after that, he married an old woman, though he was young, and as things turned out, she was his mother, so he poked out his eyes.
Then he'd have ended happy after all if, like Aristophanes, he'd been a general.
You're being stupid. I make my prologues well.
Is that so? Well, by God, I won't scratch each phrase word for word, but with help from the gods, I'll kill your prologues with a little oil jug.
My prologues?
Mm-hmm.
With an oil jug?
Yes, just one. The way you write, well, everything fits in. A little fleece, a little oil jug, a little bag, they all mesh nicely in with your iambics. Let me demonstrate.
What, this? You'll demonstrate?
That's what I'm saying.
All right, Euripides, you've got to speak.
Aegyptos, many people say, with 50 children in a rowing boat, landed in Argos.
Lost his little oil jug.
What's this stuff about an oil jug? You'll regret this.
Recite another prologue so I can see the point again.
Dionysus, clothed in fawn skin, leaps among the torches on Parnassus. On that mount, he waved his thyrsus. Then he danced and
lost his little oil jug.
Oh dear, we've been stricken with an oil jug once again.
It's no big deal. In this next prologue, he can't tie in his little oil jug. Among all men, there's not one living who's blessed in everything. If nobly born, he lacks sufficient livelihood. Or else, if basely born,
he's lost his little oil jug.
Euripides.
What?
It seems to me you should haul in your sails. This little oil jug, it's going to introduce a mighty storm.
By Demeter, I won't even think of it. Here's one will knock that little oil jug from his hand.
All right, recite another one. Take care. Keep your distance from that little oil jug.
Abandoning Sidon city, Cadmus, Agner's son,
lost his little oil jug.
My dear fellow, buy the oil jug from him so he can't shatter all our prologues.
What? I should purchase it from him?
I think you should.
No way. I've got lots more prologues to recite. Ones where he can't stick in his little oil jug. Pelops, son of Tantalus, arrived at Pisa and riding his swift horses,
lost his little oil jug.
You see, he's stuck in that little oil jug once again. Look, my good man, pay his price. Use all your means. You'll get it for an obol, and it's really nice. A good one.
Not yet. I've got plenty left. Onius, once from his own land,
lost his little oil jug.
Let me at least recite the whole line first. Oeneus, once from his land, received a bounteous harvest. Then, while offering first fruits for sacrifice,
lost his little oil jug.
In the middle of the service, who stole it?
Back off, my dear man. Let him speak to this. Zeus, as truth reports.
You'll be destroyed, for he'll just say, lost his little oil jug. These oil jugs pop up in your prologues the way warts grow on eyes. For God's sake, change the subject. What about his lyrics?
All right, I'll show how bad he is at them. His songs are awful. They sound just the same. His songs are truly quite astonishing. I'll give proof, for I'll condense them all into a single song.
All right, you do that. I'll gather up some pebbles and keep score.
Thean Achilles, oh hear the crash, the loud man slaughtering. Bash! Why don't you come here to help us? As the primordial race we honor Hermes by the lake. Bash! Why come you not to our assistance?
That's 2 bashes for you, Aeschylus.
Most glorious of Achaean men, O Atreus, who rules far and wide, learn of me, bish, bash. Why come you not to our assistance?
That's a 3rd bash for you, Aeschylus.
Be still. Attendants on the bee priestess are nigh to open up Artemis' shrine. Bash! Why come you not to our assistance? I have authority to utter out in full, to speak those fatal orders, ruling us and this our expedition. Bish! Bash! Why come you not to our assistance?
By ruling Zeus, what a pile of bashes. Toilet's where I want to be right now. This bashing's swollen both my kidneys.
Don't go. Not before you listen to another group of songs, comprised medleys of this man's lyric melodies.
All right then, go on.
You chattering kingfishers in the sea, in the ever-flowing waves who wet wingtops with water drops like so much dripping dew, and spiders underneath the roof, your fingers winding threads for stretching on the loom, work of tuneful weaving rods where dolphins, those flute-loving fish, leap at the blue-peaked prows at oracles and stadiums. I joy in early budding vines, the spiral cluster killing pain. Oh, my child, hurl your arms about me. You see this foot?
I see it.
And the other one?
Yeah, I see that too.
You write this sort of bilge, and then you dare to criticize my songs. You, who wrote your tunes to 12-stringed music of Kyrene. Bah! So much for his songs. I still want to check his solo melodies, their lyric style. Oh night, oh darkly shining night. What are you sending me? What dreams of woe from Hades' halls? What souls without a soul?
Stop the songs.
All right, I've said enough. Now I want to bring them to the balance scale, the very thing to test our poetry, to check how much our phrases weigh.
Come here then, if I have to do this. Treating poets just like cheese for sale.
Clever men like these take pains, for here's a marvel once again. Devices new and strange they bring. Who else would think up such a thing? I'd not believe it, even though I met someone who told me so.
Come on, stand beside the balance scales.
All right.
Now, each of you grab hold and don't let go until I yell at you. I'll say, cuckoo.
Early on.
Each one
Speak
holds
your
a
line.
slogan.
Speak your line into the scale.
I wish that Argive's ship had never flown.
Oh, river Sperchios, where cattle graze.
The cuckoo. Let go. The pan on Aeschylus's side has gone much further down.
And why is that?
Why? Because he put a river in it. He wet his words the way wool sellers do, whereas you put in a word with wings.
All right, let him speak again and match me.
Grab hold again.
We're ready.
We're ready.
So speak down.
Persuasion has no temple except speech.
The only god who loves no gifts is death.
Let go, let go. This one's going down again. He put death in, the heaviest of harms.
But I put in persuasion, and my line was beautifully expressed.
Persuasion's light. She's got no brains at all. Say something else. A heavy line, immense and ponderous, to make you sink.
Heavy line like that. Where can I find such lines in all my verse?
I'll tell you. Achilles threw the dice, 2 snakes' eyes and a 4. You'd better speak. It's the last time the 2 of you get weighed.
His right hand grasped the heavy iron club.
Chariot piled on chariot, corpse on corpse.
This time he got you once again.
How so?
He put in 2 chariots and 2 stiffs. 100 Egyptians couldn't shift that load.
No more contest with me, word for word. Put him in the scale pan with his wife and kids. Throw on Sophisophon. Let him step in, sit down. He can bring all his books. For me, I'll only speak 2 verses of my own.
These men are friends of mine, so I won't judge the 2 of them. I don't want to be at war with either man. One of them, I think, is really clever. The other I enjoy.
Won't you fail to get the thing you came for?
What if I chose the other man?
Take one, whichever one you wish, so you don't leave and make your trip in vain.
May gods bless you. Look, how about this? I came here for a poet.
What for?
So I might save our city and let it keep its choruses. Therefore, whichever one of you will give our state the best advice, well, that's the man I'll take. So first, a question for each of you. What is your view of Alcibiades? This issue plagues our city.
The people there, what do they think of him?
What do they think? The city yearns for him, but hates him too, yet wants him back. But you two, tell me this. What's your sense of him?
I hate a citizen who helps his native land by seeming slow, but then quickly inflicts injuries which profit him but give our city nothing.
By Poseidon, that's well said. Now, Aeschylus, what's your view on this?
The wisest thing is not to rear a lion cub inside the city, but if that's what the citizens have done, we must adjust ourselves to fit its ways.
By Zeus the Savior, this decision's hard. One spoke with skill, the other was so clear. All right, each of you, speak up again. Tell me of our state. How can we save her?
Use Dionysius as Cleocritus' wings. Then winds would lift them over the flat sea.
A really funny sight, but what's the point?
In a sea fight, they'd take some vinegar and dump the bottles in their opponent's eyes. But I know the answer, let me speak.
All right, say on.
When those among us have no faith, act faithfully, and things bereft of trust are trusted.
What's that? I don't get what you're saying. Speak out more clearly. More matter with less art.
If we removed our trust from politicians on whom we now rely and used the ones we don't use now, we could be saved. It's clear we're not doing well with what we're doing now. If we reversed our course, we might be saved.
Well put, O Palamedes, you clever man. Did you come up with this idea yourself, or is it from Sophisophon?
It's mine alone. That bit about those jars of vinegar, Sophisophon's idea.
Now you, what do you say?
About our state. Acquaint me first of all with those in her employ. Surely they're good men?
Of course they're not. She hates those worst of all.
She loves the ne'er-do-wells.
Not really, but she's got no choice. She has to use them.
How can one save a city like this one, which has no taste for woolen city coats or country cloaks of goat skin?
By Zeus, to get upstairs, you'd best come up with something.
Up there I talk, but I don't want to here.
Don't be that way. Send something good from here.
When they consider their foes' land their own and think of their land as the enemy's, and when they look upon their ships as riches and see their wealth as wretchedness.
Yes, but jury members wolf down all the cash.
You should decide.
I'll make my choice between them. I'll choose the one who's pleasing to my soul.
Do not forget those gods by whom you swore to take me home. You have to choose your friends.
My tongue hath made that oath, but I choose Aeschylus.
What have you done, you foulest of all men?
Me? I've picked Aeschylus to win. Why not?
Do you dare to look me in the face after you've done the dirtiest of deeds?
What's dirty if this audience approves?
You're heartless. Will you never think of me now that I'm dead?
What if living isn't really dying, or breathing dining, or sleep a pillow slip?
Come inside now, Dionysus.
Oh, what for?
So I can entertain you here before you go.
An excellent idea, by God. I won't say no.
Blessed is the man with keen intelligence. We learn this truth in many ways. Once he's shown his own good sense, he goes back home again. He brings our citizens good things, as well as family and friends, with perspective mind. So to be truly civilized, don't sit by Socrates and chat, or cast the muse's work aside, forgetting the most vital skills of writing tragedies. Wasting time with pompous words while idly scratching verbal bits, that suits a man who's lost his wits.
So farewell now, Aeschylus. Go, save our city with your noble thoughts and educate our fools. We have so many. Take a sword, hand it to Cleophon, present a rope to tax collector Myrmex and his colleague Nicomachos, and give some hemlock to Archimenos. Tell them to come here fast, without delay, and if they don't end up here soon, then by Apollo, I will brand and cripple them one by one and drag them down here at full speed with Adiamantos, Leucolphus' son.
That I'll do. As for my chair of honor, give it to Sophocles to keep safe for me in case I ever come back here. He's the one whose talent I would put in second place. Bear in mind, the rogue right there, this clown, this liar will never occupy my chair, not even by mistake.
Let your torches shine. Your sacred torches will light the way for him. Escort him on his way and praise his fame with his own songs and dances.
First, all you spirits underneath the ground, let's bid our poet here a fond farewell as he goes upward to the light. To the city grant worthy thoughts of every excellence. Then we could put an end to our great pain, the harmful clash of arms. Let Cleophon and all those keen to fight war on their enemy in their ancestral fields on their own property.
That concludes the Hold Space Theater Collective's virtual performance of The Frogs by Aristophanes. We once again invite you to donate to the Marsha P. Johnson Institute using the link below. And be sure to like the Hold Space Theater Collective on Facebook to receive audition and performance updates. Have a great evening.